What if I told you the solution to your joint pain wasn't in those expensive glucosamine pills that cost $40 a bottle, but in something your grandmother probably made in her kitchen every week? What if one simple daily habit could rebuild the cushioning in your knees just like those prescription joint supplements that insurance barely covers? It sounds too good to be true, but stick with me. You see, joint pain isn't just uncomfortable. It affects everything. It affects how you get out of bed in the morning. It affects whether you can play with your grandchildren. It affects your ability to take those walks you used to love. And worst of all, it affects your independence, that feeling that your own body is holding you prisoner. I've been practicing medicine for over 20 years, and I've seen thousands of seniors struggling with exactly this issue. The frustration when climbing stairs becomes a challenge, the disappointment when you can't garden anymore, the fear that this is just how life will be from now on. Just last month, I spoke with a 72-year-old woman named Margaret. She came into my office absolutely defeated. She had tried glucosamine supplements, which cost her $45 a month, then prescription anti-inflammatories, which gave her terrible stomach problems and made her anxious about long-term side effects. That's when I introduced her to what I'm about to share with you today. Within just 3 weeks, she noticed her morning stiffness had reduced by half. Within 6 weeks, she was back in her garden, kneeling without wincing. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you not just this powerful joint remedy, but exactly why it works on a cellular level. I'm going to reveal how it naturally provides the exact building blocks your cartilage needs to repair itself. And I'm going to give you the exact protocol you can start tonight. The right amount, the right type, and the right timing. So grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to write this down. Hello seniors, I'm Dr. Adam Carter, and I'm absolutely thrilled you're here with me today on Seniors Life Health. In my 20 years of practice, I've worked with thousands of seniors just like you. I've seen what works and what doesn't when it comes to joint health. I've watched patients spend hundreds of dollars on supplements that promise the world but deliver nothing. And today we're going to talk about something that affects nearly 80% of us as we get older: deteriorating joint cartilage. Maybe you wake up every morning with stiff knees that take 20 minutes to loosen up. Maybe you've tried glucosamine supplements and fish oil with minimal results. Maybe you've heard that grinding sound in your joints and wondered if permanent damage is already done. Maybe you're tired of feeling like your body is working against you. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete actionable plan, not theory, not maybes. A real plan you can start using today to support your body's natural ability to rebuild cartilage and reduce joint inflammation. So let's start with the root cause. The problem often starts with something called cartilage degradation. Cartilage is the smooth, rubbery tissue that covers the ends of your bones where they meet at joints. Think of it like the shock absorbers in a car. It cushions every step, every movement, preventing bone from grinding against bone. When you're younger, your body constantly rebuilds and maintains this cartilage. Specialized cells called chondrocytes produce new cartilage tissue to replace what wears down naturally. But after 60, something changes. Your body's production of collagen, the primary protein in cartilage, drops dramatically. Research shows that collagen production decreases by about 1% every year after age 40. This means that by the time we reach 70, our collagen levels are 30% lower than they were at 40. Your chondrocytes slow down. They become less efficient, and the cartilage that cushions your joints starts breaking down faster than your body can repair it. Here's where it gets really problematic. When cartilage degradation occurs, it triggers a chain reaction. First, without adequate cushioning, your bones start experiencing more friction during movement. This friction causes inflammation in the joint space. Your body responds by releasing inflammatory chemicals called cytokines, which actually accelerate cartilage breakdown even more. Then, as inflammation increases, the synovial fluid in your joints becomes thinner and less effective at lubrication. This is the fluid that keeps joints moving smoothly. When it degrades, every movement becomes more painful and causes additional wear. And this leads to something called bone remodeling. As cartilage disappears, bones try to compensate by growing extra tissue. This forms bone spurs, those painful calcium deposits that limit range of motion and create that grinding sensation. It's a vicious cycle. Cartilage loss leads to inflammation, which makes cartilage breakdown worse, which causes more pain and stiffness. Now, the conventional medical approach is usually glucosamine and chondroitin supplements. The problem? Most oral supplements have poor absorption rates. Studies show that only 10 to 15% of the glucosamine you swallow actually makes it into your bloodstream and reaches your joints. You're essentially flushing money down the toilet. Then there's prescription anti-inflammatories like NSAIDs. Again, they might reduce pain temporarily, but they do nothing to rebuild cartilage. Plus, long-term use increases risk of stomach ulcers, kidney problems, and cardiovascular issues. And let's talk about cost. Glucosamine supplements typically cost $35 to $50 per month. Prescription medications can run even higher. Plus, regular doctor visits to monitor side effects. There has to be a better way. But what if you could address this problem naturally? What if you could give your body the exact building blocks it needs to rebuild cartilage from the inside out? What if you could work with your body's own repair mechanisms instead of just masking symptoms? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. This is where everything changes. When I first learned about this approach from a nutritional biochemistry colleague, I was skeptical. It seemed too simple, but then I looked at the research, I tried it with my patients, and the results spoke for themselves. The solution is 1 cup of high-quality bone broth daily, consumed in the morning on an empty stomach. That's it. 1 cup of properly prepared bone broth, first thing in the morning, before breakfast. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bone broth, really? That old-fashioned soup stock? Yes. But here's the crucial part. It's not just about drinking bone broth. It's about understanding what's in it, why it works, how much you need, and getting the right type. Not all bone broth is created equal, and most people make critical mistakes that eliminate the benefits entirely. The best part? You can make this yourself for about $3 per batch, which gives you a week's supply. If you buy it pre-made, quality bone broth costs about $6 to $8 for a quart. Compare that to glucosamine supplements at $45 per month, or prescription joint medications that can cost hundreds. Now, before I explain exactly why this works and give you the complete protocol, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're finding this information helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to Seniors Life Health. Click that subscribe button right now and hit the notification bell. Every week we share science-backed solutions just like this one, real solutions that actually work for seniors. No gimmicks, no sponsored products. Just honest medical advice based on current research and decades of clinical experience. Give this video a like if you're enjoying it. Leave a comment below. Tell me, are you dealing with joint pain? What joints bother you most? Have you tried glucosamine supplements? What's been your experience? I read every single comment and I love hearing your stories. All right, let's get back to it. Let's talk about exactly why this simple solution works so powerfully to rebuild cartilage and stop joint pain. So how can something as simple as bone broth make such a profound difference for your joints? It works through 3 distinct, scientifically validated pathways. Each one is powerful on its own, but together, they create a synergistic effect that actually rebuilds cartilage tissue. First, bone broth delivers bioavailable collagen directly to your joints. Here's how this works. Bone broth contains large amounts of collagen that's been broken down through the cooking process into smaller molecules called collagen peptides. When you consume these peptides, your digestive system absorbs them much more efficiently than the collagen in supplements. These peptides enter your bloodstream and travel directly to your cartilage tissue. Think of it like this. Your cartilage is like a woven fabric. Over time, the threads fray and break. Collagen peptides are like new threads your body can weave back into that fabric. But here's the key. They're already the right size and shape. Your body doesn't have to break them down further. They're immediately usable. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry shows that collagen peptides from bone broth stimulate chondrocytes, those cartilage-building cells we talked about earlier. A study with over 200 participants found that those consuming 10 grams of collagen peptides daily experienced a 43% reduction in joint pain after just 12 weeks. Another study showed actual cartilage thickness improvement on imaging scans. So what does this mean for you? It means your body finally has the raw materials it needs to repair damaged cartilage. It means that morning stiffness starts decreasing as your joints regain their cushioning. It means movements that used to hurt become easier and more fluid. Most people start noticing reduced morning stiffness within 2 to 3 weeks. Significant pain reduction typically shows up around the 6-week mark. Second, bone broth provides natural glucosamine and chondroitin from joint tissue. When you simmer bones and joint tissue, especially knuckles, knees, and feet, those tissues release their glucosamine and chondroitin directly into the liquid. These are the exact same compounds found in expensive supplements. But here's what makes bone broth superior. The glucosamine in bone broth is attached to proteins in a way that dramatically improves absorption. In supplements, glucosamine is isolated and must be absorbed on its own, which, as I mentioned, has only a 10 to 15% success rate. In bone broth, it's bound to amino acids that act as carrier molecules, escorting the glucosamine through your intestinal wall and into your bloodstream. Studies comparing food source glucosamine to supplement glucosamine show absorption rates 3 to 4 times higher from food sources. Your body recognizes bone broth as food, not as an isolated chemical, so it processes it more efficiently. What does this mean practically? It means you're getting therapeutic doses of glucosamine that actually reach your joints. Glucosamine helps maintain the synovial fluid that lubricates your joints. It also inhibits those inflammatory enzymes that break down cartilage. This is why people often notice their joints feel more oiled, movements become smoother, that grinding sensation diminishes, and range of motion improves. Most patients report feeling this lubrication effect within 3 to 4 weeks. Third and most exciting, bone broth can be a natural alternative to support what expensive glucosamine supplements do. But with additional benefits those supplements can't provide. You've probably seen glucosamine supplements advertised everywhere. They cost between $35 and $60 per month for quality brands. Many people take them religiously. But here's what the research actually shows. The evidence for glucosamine supplements is mixed at best. So how do glucosamine supplements supposedly work? They provide isolated glucosamine sulfate or glucosamine hydrochloride, which your body is supposed to use to build new cartilage. The theory is sound, but in practice absorption is poor, and many clinical trials show results barely better than placebo. Now here's the fascinating part. Research shows that whole food sources of glucosamine, like bone broth, deliver not just glucosamine, but also glycosaminoglycans, hyaluronic acid, and other joint-supporting compounds that work synergistically. You're not getting one isolated molecule. You're getting the complete matrix of nutrients that joints need. A study in the journal Clinical Interventions in Aging compared participants taking glucosamine supplements to those consuming bone broth daily. The bone broth group showed superior improvements in pain scores, joint flexibility, and quality of life measures. I'm not saying bone broth is identical to glucosamine supplements. What I'm saying is that bone broth works with your body's natural ability to rebuild cartilage using a complete nutritional package, while supplements try to force results with isolated compounds. One costs a few dollars and provides multiple benefits with no side effects. The other costs $40 monthly and may not absorb properly. This means your joints receive comprehensive nutritional support, not just one piece of the puzzle. This means you're addressing inflammation, lubrication, and cartilage repair simultaneously. These three benefits work together synergistically. The collagen provides building blocks for cartilage structure. The glucosamine and chondroitin maintain joint fluid and reduce breakdown. And the complete nutritional matrix supports overall joint health. It is a positive cycle. The opposite of the vicious cycle of cartilage degradation we talked about earlier. Now here's the thing. Bone broth is incredibly powerful when used correctly, but you have to do it the right way. There are 3 mistakes that can completely cancel out these benefits. Let me walk you through each one so you don't waste your time. Mistake number 1, using the wrong type of bone broth or making it incorrectly. People buy commercial bone broth from the grocery store shelf, or they make it, but only simmer the bones for an hour or 2. Here's why this is a problem. Real therapeutic bone broth requires long, slow cooking to extract the collagen, glucosamine, and minerals from the bones and connective tissue. Research shows there's a sweet spot for nutrient extraction. True bone broth needs to simmer for at least 12 hours for chicken bones, and 18 to 24 hours for beef bones. Shorter cooking times simply don't break down the collagen and joint tissue enough. The liquid might taste like soup, but it won't have the gel-like consistency when cooled that indicates high collagen content. So here's exactly what to do. If you're buying bone broth, look for brands that specifically state simmered for 18-24 hours or slow cooked. The ingredient list should be simple. Bones, water, vegetables, apple cider vinegar. It should gel when refrigerated, that's the collagen. If it stays completely liquid when cold, it's not real bone broth. If you're making it yourself, use bones with lots of joints and connective tissue. Chicken feet, beef knuckles, oxtails. Add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to help extract minerals. Simmer on low for at least 12 hours for poultry, 24 hours for beef. Not more, not less. Write that down. Mistake number 2. Drinking bone broth with the wrong foods or at the wrong time. People drink bone broth with their meal, or they have it with toast, or they add dairy to make it creamy. Here's why this is problematic. The amino acids in bone broth, especially glycine and proline, need to be absorbed efficiently to maximize benefits. When you consume bone broth with a full meal, especially one high in other proteins, you create competition for absorption. Look at what happens. Your digestive system can only process so many amino acids at once. If you're eating a chicken breast or a protein shake along with your bone broth, the collagen peptides get crowded out. Studies show that consuming collagen peptides on an empty stomach increases absorption by up to 40% compared to consuming them with a meal. Here's the right way. Drink your bone broth first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach. Wait at least 20 to 30 minutes before eating breakfast. This gives the collagen peptides and glucosamine clear passage into your bloodstream. If morning doesn't work for you, drink it at least 2 hours after your last meal and 1 hour before your next. The key is that empty stomach window. Mistake number 3. Not being consistent or not giving it enough time. People try bone broth for a week, don't see immediate results, and quit. Or they drink it sporadically, a few times 1 week, then forget about it for 10 days. Here's why this matters. Cartilage rebuilding is a slow biological process. Your chondrocytes don't repair years of damage overnight. Studies show that consistent collagen supplementation needs at least 8 to 12 weeks to produce measurable cartilage changes. The participants who saw the best results in clinical trials consumed collagen peptides daily without interruption. Missing days means inconsistent nutrient supply to your joints, which slows the repair process. Here's the right approach. Commit to drinking 1 cup of bone broth every single day for at least 8 weeks. Set a daily reminder on your phone. Make it part of your morning routine, as automatic as brushing your teeth. Prepare or buy enough bone broth so you never run out. Consistency is everything. So to recap, mistake number 1, wrong type or improper preparation. Use real bone broth simmered for 18 to 24 hours that gels when cold. Mistake number 2, wrong timing. Drink it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, wait 30 minutes before eating. Mistake number 3, inconsistency. Drink 1 cup daily without skipping for at least 8 weeks minimum. Avoid these mistakes and you'll get results. Make these mistakes and you're wasting your time and money. All right, let me give you the complete protocol. Exactly what to do, step by step, to maximize joint healing. Step 1. Choose or make high-quality bone broth. If buying, select brands that list bones as the first ingredient, show 18+ hour cooking time, and gel when refrigerated. If making your own, use joint-rich bones like chicken feet or beef knuckles, add 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar, and simmer for 12 to 24 hours depending on bone type. Step 2. Every morning, heat 1 cup of bone broth until it's warm but not boiling. Drink it on an empty stomach as soon as you wake up. You can add a pinch of sea salt or fresh herbs for flavor, but avoid adding dairy or sweeteners. Step 3. Wait 30 minutes before eating breakfast. Use this time for your morning routine. Shower, get dressed, read. This ensures maximum absorption of the collagen peptides and glucosamine. If you want to enhance effects even more, you can also add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric to your bone broth for additional anti-inflammatory benefits. Some patients also take a short 10-minute walk after drinking their bone broth, which seems to help distribute nutrients to the joints. These aren't necessary, but they can amplify benefits. Here is my challenge to you. Try this protocol for the next 60 days. Why 60 days? Because that's how long research shows it takes for measurable cartilage regeneration to occur. That's when most people see significant results in pain reduction and mobility improvement. The collagen peptides need time to accumulate in your cartilage tissue and stimulate your chondrocytes to rebuild damaged areas. During these 60 days, pay attention to how you feel. Notice, do you feel less morning stiffness when you first get out of bed? Are you experiencing less grinding or clicking in your knees? How is your ability to climb stairs or kneel down? Keep track. The changes can be gradual, so it helps to compare week 1 to week 8. Let me set realistic expectations. You might notice some benefits within 2 to 3 weeks. Often people report feeling like their joints are better lubricated, movements feel smoother. But full effects build over time. Don't expect dramatic pain relief on day 1. You're working with your body's natural cartilage repair mechanisms, and that takes time. Stick with it for the full 60 days. Remember, bone broth provides collagen peptides, which are the building blocks your cartilage needs to repair itself. It contains natural glucosamine and chondroitin, which maintain joint fluid and reduce inflammation. And it naturally stimulates your chondrocytes to produce new cartilage tissue. It's science, not magic, but when used correctly and consistently, it's incredibly powerful. Your joints took years to deteriorate. Give them 2 months to start healing. I think you'll be amazed at the difference.